questions that came into our customer service.
And here's the first email we have. I have a CXA 801 installed on my 12 Mercedes about 2 years ago. After bringing it to the dealer for a battery replacement, my amplifier is staying on all the time. I did not have this issue before bringing it in. What could the issue be? Well, there could be several different things.
Right. Yeah. Need a little more information. I mean, there's a turn-on signal, of course. So if it's 12-volt remote turn-on, I'd look at your remote turn-on wire, see where that's tapped into. Maybe it was tapped into a factory fuse box, and then whoever put in the battery just unplugged it while they're doing their battery replacement, and then stabbed it back in the wrong fuse or something.
And that can happen pretty easy.
So really, pull out the remote turn-on wire. Maybe you're actually using high-level inputs, and you're using DC offset to turn the amplifier on and off. So again, measure DC offset on that. And that's one of the benefits of FIT technology, by the way. So if you're running high-level or speaker-level inputs into the CXA line of amplifiers, you don't need a remote turn-on wire. So we need to know what you're using to control the amplifier to turn it on and off, and to be able to give you a legit answer. But always basic troubleshooting techniques is really what it boils down to.
If we're here with the vehicle, and actually have it in front of us, it's a lot easier. We can just offer suggestions. But something else with the FIT input, some of the kicker amplifiers, when you're using the DC offset, that 12-volt turn on that you would normally send 12-volt into the amplifier to turn it on becomes a 12-volt output to turn on something else.
Right.
So if they took speaker level into the amplifier, and then they took that remote lead and say they plugged it into the radio fuse, what that's going to do, it's going to power the radio up all the time, which leaves the amplifier on all the time. You see the problem?
Right.
So make sure you know the amplifier. Like I say, if you're using speaker level input on any kicker amplifier, do not connect the remote to switch 12-volt anywhere.
If you're using it on like KX, we have the switch. There's actually a switch, so you can choose turn-on selection between 12-volt or DC offset. So make sure the switch is in the right position. On CXA, you don't get the switch. So yeah, just be wary of that.
But great question.
Yeah, and then again, I wanted to stress basic troubleshooting techniques, and that's going to be isolate. So find a point in the chain that you can stab into and measure, and then depending on your results, either work upstream or downstream. And then once you work in a logical fashion, you're going to be able to troubleshoot out any problem you have, whether it's the amplifier not turning on, whether it's funky noises, turn on, pop, etc. So isolate, maybe it's send music in through RCAs directly into the amplifier, and then either work upstream towards the head unit or
at that point it's either the head unit or something downstream.
Yeah, or downstream, so through the amplifier settings, or the subwoofers themselves, or full range speakers themselves. So that's